Hi! You caught me lighting some incense. Give me one moment. It'll happen. I know you can't smell it, but it's very nice, and it's still important to set the mood for the altar if we can. Right? So there is that. Hi! Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here this evening. We are very excited to bring you SoulSong on this beautiful, but at least in the Pacific Northwest, very warm evening. Tonight we come together to celebrate the season, to celebrate each other, to prop each other up, to support one another in strength, and to bring forward and manifest the energies of one of our divinities, the queer warrior. And so with our work this evening, we are going to call on the warrior. We're going to invite that strength and that energy into ourselves and our lives. And we'll do some healing and just connect a little bit as best we can from afar as a community. So take a deep breath, just to relax, just center yourself a little bit in your space, wiggle your butt in your chair, do whatever you need to. And now take a moment to think on anything that would distract you from our work here tonight. So any distractions or ills that would take your heart away from the purpose of this evening. Think of those things, those distractions, those stray thoughts, those obsessions, the shitty start to your day, or whatever it is. Think about those things running through your head. And just into your own space, say them out loud. Give them room to breathe. Let them out into the space so that they can escape your own head. And in the space that we build together, may they be transformed. So go ahead, just take a minute to spew that nonsense out, because I know I've got some stuff. Tomorrow's going to be 90-something degrees. Not looking forward to that. Ridiculous. Out. Get it out. I'm nervous. Got nerves. Technology went better than usual, but was still very frustrating today. So, out. All of it. And when you've said your piece, just take a deep breath in. Acknowledge that these things are still here, but that they're not inside of you currently. And may these distractions, may these ills be transformed by our work here tonight. Tuskite. That's it.
Now that we've named our distractions, let's name our intentions. Take a breath and a moment to name your intent for tonight. What do you hope to come away with? What are you here to celebrate? If you feel called, take turns to share your intent via the chat or speak it out loud just into your own space.
Now we can balance and center together. Close your eyes and clasp your hands together. Focus for a moment on our shared intent. Each and every one of us is here for a purpose, including those of us not on screen, including yourself. Breathe in that shared intent for healing and celebration. Breathe out and let it settle into your heart. Again, in and out. Together, we form a community that is built through the bonds of love and will. We give shape to this sacred space, a fortress in which to weave the magic of life. You may release hands.
All right, thank you. And thank you, everyone, again for being here this evening. Take another breath. We do this a lot, so take a breath. Just relax into that. Together, we're standing at the top of a great mound at the entrance to a large pyramid. At the entrance to a large labyrinth, which is atop a large mound. This is the world's mound, the ephemeral and foundational mystery of our tradition, and the layered memories and the layered history of ourselves and of the earth. It's in that vein, in that memory and in that history, that we think back to who walked this land before us. So give a moment's thought to the land that you're on. Give a moment's thought to those who walked it before you, those who still walk it now, and those who may come after. I myself am standing on the unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples. And I hope that with our work here this evening, I, in my space, can honor their memory, their present, and their future. So just take a moment, if you know it, to just speak out loud the name or names of the peoples whose land you stand on now. And just give some intent, give just another moment to the thought that hopefully we can at the very least honor their memory and their present with the work that we're doing tonight. In our tradition, the world's mound is also the truncated pyramid, which is bolstered on all four sides by the four elements. We'll now call on those elements, starting with fire and ending with air. Technical difficulties and problems, and we're sorry for the brief delay. Again, we are we are plowing forward, calling the elements, starting with fire, then water, then earth, then air. Cat, after you.
Take a moment to connect with fire in whatever way feels right to you. As I call forth the element in fire into this space, quietly tone the vowel sound and imagine the powers of fire entering our right. I bring in fire, the door to power. I bring the energies of burning hearths and blood-warmed skin, of passion and vitality. I bring the flames of transformation and the obelisk as we welcome fire into this space. Netzah Shaliach.
Take a moment to connect with water in a way that feels right to you. As I call forth the element of water into this space, quietly tone the vowel sound oh, and imagine the powers of water entering our right. I bring in water, the door to mystery. I bring the energies of quenching rains and ocean depths, of emotion and memory. I bring the labyrinth and the misted path as we welcome water into this space. Netzah Shaliach.
Take a moment to connect with Earth in a way that feels right to you. As I call forth the element of Earth into this space, quietly intone the vowel sound ooh, and imagine the powers of Earth entering our right. I bring in Earth, the door to strength. I bring in the energies of fertile fields and ancient stone, of growth and foundation. I bring the world mound and the obelisk's root as we welcome Earth into this space. Netzah Shaliach.
Take a moment to connect with air in a way that feels right to you. As I call forth the element of air into this space, quietly tone the vowel sound and imagine the powers of air entering our right. I bring in air, the door to knowledge. I bring the energies of cooling breezes and wild gales, of intellect and imagination. I bring the directions and the compass roads as we welcome air into this space. Netzah Shaliach. Now, we'll call on the spirits of our tradition and ask that they open the way.
We call on the spirits of place, ancient and modern, spirits of mountain and concrete, of misted forests and cool fresh waters. Reveal to us the currents of this land.
We call on Terra and Soul, twin souls of matter and light, body and breath. Guide our magic to manifestation.
We call on the queer ancestors of blood and of spirit, of love and of power, mighty dead who carry the torches of wisdom into our hearts and lives. Protect us whilst we walk on twilight roads.
We call on the dragon, spiraled serpent at obelisk's root, source of earth and flame and deepest gold. Forge for us the crucible through which we are transformed.
We call on the Minotaur, starry bull of the blackest earth, challenger and guardian. Show us the light that lives in inky shadows.
Shiveo?
We call to youth, explorer, lover, healer, warrior, liberator, mystic, and elder. Bless us with flame and light, with queer power and with open hearts.
We call now on the beating, flaming heart of our tradition, Phoenix, illuminator and alchemist, light source who casts no shadow. We call you down. Spread your wings and lift our hearts. Lift now the veil, open now the way.
Take a breath. Let yourself get comfortable in your space. Perhaps close your eyes. And let us prepare to enter the labyrinth together. You will never get lost in a labyrinth, for it is not a maze. There is one path in, and it is the same path out. Focus your attention on the journey we are about to take together. Honor yourself and the others here tonight by choosing to be fully present. Open your heart to the possibilities to be discovered on this journey. See before you a large 7-circuit labyrinth of the sort represented at our altar. The entrance lies before you, opening to a left turn that leads into deepening shadow. Move forward into the dark and traverse the long, winding path back and forth, from circuit to circuit. Each turn focuses your mind, body, and spirit. Note the smell of the path, the feel of the air on your skin. Let your soul awaken. You begin to move more quickly, and the turns grow sharper, until suddenly a large clearing opens up at the labyrinth center with a bonfire at its heart, smoky, warm, and bright. These are the flames that we have kindled together. The fire calls for release and promises transformation. Over the crackles and pops of the burning wood, you hear the sound of beating wings from overhead, and you feel a spark of flame kindle in your heart. You look upwards and see the largest, most beautiful bird that you have ever seen. You gaze into its eyes and see within them a familiarity which strikes you to the core. Yet at the same time, those eyes contain the deepest mysteries of the universe. A voice speaks within your mind saying, I am thee and thou art me. The bird's feathers shimmer and flame in a myriad of colors. You watch as it circles once more and then dives directly into the fire and is utterly consumed. The fire grows and seems to reach for you. Hesitantly, you advance toward the flames where the bird was. As you are drawn into the fire, the flames are warm but do not burn you. Instead, you are invigorated with a willpower and strength that is rejuvenating. You breathe in deeply and feel the divine suffuse you, aflame with the power of spirit. You feel others move into the flames and watch as they come alive with the knowledge of who they truly are. You are aware of yourself as an individual and as a part of something much larger. You feel the earth leave from beneath you. You soar upwards to the planets and the stars. A bird's cry pierces the world and opens your heart. Breathe in that sound. Become aware of yourself as the phoenix. When you are ready, you may open your eyes.
From the flames, we'll call on the warrior to manifest within our temple and community. Breathe in the light of the phoenix and focus on your desire for the divine to be here, manifested in our shared space. Breathe out and feel the name of the divine settle on your lips like a lover. See the flames at the center of the labyrinth again in your mind's eye. At their center is the figure of a person, tiny and indistinct, but growing as they move closer. This is the warrior. See the warrior more clearly as they approach, emerging from the flames. Notice their shape. Are they big and strong, lithe or wiry? What color are their hair, their eyes, their skin? What is the warrior wearing? Can you see their clothing, the colors, the textures? What are they carrying, if anything? Listen for the warrior's voice. How do they sound? Do they speak quickly or slowly? What might they taste like if you were to kiss their lips, their cheek, or their hand? How would it feel to embrace the warrior? How does the warrior hold their body? How do they move? If you notice a desire in your own body to move, allow yourself to do so as if you were walking or dancing or even sparring with the warrior. The warrior stands before you now, real and present in every detail. They are close enough that you can hear the rustle of their clothing and see the light glinting in their eyes. Close enough that you can feel the warmth of their breath, smell their scent. This is the warrior, come from the flames at the heart of the labyrinth to teach us. Open your hearts now to their offering.
Tony?
Today we're going to be doing some warrior magic. Whether you believe in psychic attack or spiritual attack, there's tools that we have that can help us to hold our space and protect our energies and our alignment so that we can be in alignment with what is true for us and hold the space out of things that are not with our truth. This helps us to actually meet the world as it is instead of taking in other people's stuff that doesn't belong to us, that might make us smaller or make us afraid or make us angry when it doesn't serve our work. And so I will be guiding you through a process. If you already have tools that really help you with this, perhaps this could be a time in which you check back in with those and let the warrior help you empower them. Or you could follow this process and see what comes through it. First, I invite you to notice your connection to the ground below you. If your feet are touching the ground, really let your whole foot, all your feet, or none of your feet, be in contact with that ground. Sometimes when we're under threat or stress, we instinctively pull our feet up or we stand on a part of our foot. And many people find that feeling the full contact of your foot on the ground is very grounding. And so you might even press down gently, just reaffirming that contact with the ground. If your feet are not touching the ground, or for whatever reason, not in relationship, you can feel that connection through your whole body, feeling your seat on whatever it's supporting you, and feeling how that connects to the ground, and just feeling the pull of gravity on your body, and really feeling the power in the earth. Let's take a breath into that. Feeling how the earth pushes back almost, how it offers this relentless support, this stability from which we can draw power and strength. And as you breathe, I invite you to breathe that power into your core, into the center, kind of around your belly, somewhere between your navel and your pelvis. Filling that with earth power, and as you breathe out, kind of expanding your core, letting your awareness drop into your center. And take a few more breaths, filling your center with aliveness and power. Breathing out, letting that center push out anything from your body, from your energy bodies, anything that doesn't belong to you. And feeling how your center and your aliveness can expand into your whole being. Feeling the core of who you are, inhabiting your whole body. And let your body take whatever posture it wants to take, holding this energy of yourself, your aliveness. And if your eyes are open, you might just let your gaze soften so that you're kind of looking at your peripheral vision rather than direct hard focus on what's in front of you. And just let your awareness kind of move into your body while also staying connected to the space around you, sensing into that core, that aliveness at your center. And feeling how much space you're taking up right now, both your physical body, but also your energy, your being, what feels like your space. You might even try with a breath, pushing that space out a little bit into the space around you, not taking up the whole room, but just a really solid sphere encompassing your whole body. You might ask or invite the warrior to help you draw this sphere, this circle around you with a blade or spear, drawing a circle that encompasses and encircles your space for your being, anchored to your center, extending all around you like a sphere. And breathing it back into your core. As you breathe out, invite your whole being to create or enact or express some image, something that contains your space and protects you. Perhaps it's a thicket of thorns that holds your boundaries. Perhaps it's a wall. Perhaps it's light or mirrors or beings who hold the edges and stand guard. Whatever it is you sense or imagine, just let it come through you, even if it's just a sensation or a word, something that holds your edges, something that keeps a firm boundary between you and the world around you. Firm but flexible, firm but permeable, so you can invite in what's needed, what's meaningful, and keep out what would not serve. And keep breathing, just sensing into whatever's coming up, whatever image. And just feeling what it's like to be held and contained, guarded, so that you have all this space to just be who you are and face the world in your truth. And really noticing what it's like in your body to hold this experience, what image has come up for you that really speaks to your safety, your protection. And then you might ask your core again for something that will help you to access this when you need it in your day-to-day life. When you're walking out in the world, when you're encountering people in real or online spaces who are not really giving you good energy, that you can just hold this boundary and hold on to yourself. Asking your core if there's a word or a gesture or an image or a sigil that represents this protection. And if there is a word or an image or sigil or gesture, I invite you to hold that at your center. And with 3 deep, ferocious breaths, breathe in power and aliveness from the earth, and breathe out, sending that power into this form, this image that will help you to connect to this protection. Breathe in, and out. Breathe in, out. Once more. May this work be a blessing. May this be a resource for you in your life and in the times that are ahead. Blessed be.
Amen. Oh, all right. Thank you, Tony. That was lovely. Hold on to that feeling for just a moment, that feeling of boundaries and strength. And let it settle, but don't let it go. I want you to hold on to that sphere of yourself, right? What we might call the sphere of sensation. I want you to hold that boundary, that image in your head. We're going to do some healing now, and we're going to start there, right? So holding that image, holding that knowledge of yourself and your boundary and your strength in mind, take a breath and relax. So just there we go. Okay. Now I'm nice and relaxed too. So turn your face up towards the sky and see beyond your ceiling, beyond the roof, beyond our atmosphere. See the stars above you. Look up and see, shining against the blackness, an infinite field of starry light shining down on you. These are the lights of the divine who are watching over us and keeping us safe, giving us strength, and giving us healing, giving us the energy to transform and change our world. Breathe that transformative divine energy down. Breathe that starlight down into your bubble. And just let it suffuse. Take 3 good breaths. And on every breath out, you're filling this space. You're filling your own space. One more time. Down and fill. And just take a moment to exist with this changed energy that's swirling around you, that is both outside of your body but also inside of your own boundaries and inside of your own sphere, your own spirit. Just take a moment to sit with that, to feel that starlight shining in your own space and in your heart. Good. Now, look down. Turn your face towards the ground. And again, You're looking through the floor, through the foundations of your home, through the topsoil and the bedrock and all of it. Look deep, deep into the ground where the earth is alive and churning. That heartbeat of the planet constantly moving. And further down, below us, is a cauldron. You look down and you see those same lights from above shining from below, reflected on the surface of water below us. We all stand on the edge of this great cauldron, and that starlight reflects. These reflected lights coming up from the cauldron are the lights of our ancestors. They're the lights of our past that give us guidance and wisdom for how to move ourselves forward. So breathe that light up. Breathe the reflected light of your ancestors up and into that sphere. Again, breathe up. And on your exhalation, fill yourself and your space with that light. One more time. Breathe up the energies of the cauldron and the ancestors and reflected starlight, and breathe it out into yourself, into your space. Everything inside of this is yours, and it is strong and bright and beautiful. And accessing these combined energies and bringing them into ourselves is a way to reconcile and balance ourselves, which can lead to healing. So I'm going to ask you, I know it's a lot, 3 more breaths. And you're just going to breathe in everything that is outside of your skin, but inside of this bubble, right? And just almost as if you are a bellows that is taking it in and then recycling it with your exhalation and building up that cycle, so that this energy can move through your body. So when you breathe it in, it goes back and then down and up and out, right? So breathe in, the energy moves down and to your back, and then up and back out when you breathe out. Do that 3 times. Good. So in, out. And the energy swirls through your sphere of sensation entirely. And breathe in. And out. And in. And out. And you can feel that movement, that dynamicism, right? This dynamic energy that can suffuse you and carry you forward in transformation. So that entire process is something that you can do for yourself when you're feeling uninspired or lethargic or anything like that, to give yourself a boost, and also to get in touch with those energies above us and below us and sort of recenter yourself. So from there, this one's going to be a little interesting, but breathe in again, just center yourself. That energy is still with you inside of the sphere, that That sphere of sensation is still strong, but see it connecting with others. We are still together as a community, even though it's distant and not as interactive as we are accustomed to. We're still together. We're still one community. And energetically, we can sense that. We can at least sense the barest hints of it by my sphere of sensation, my boundary, my bubble, connecting to another on the left, and the left, your left, my left, and the right. Put your hands out slightly to sort of gauge that boundary, but let it connect with the other people in this circle doing this work. Only this work. Only those of us who did this with Tony and then did this with me and have gone through these steps are a part of this. And you can, if you just reach out a little bit and feel the edges of that sphere of your own bubble, they can connect with others in this circle. And just take a couple of normal breaths to feel those boundaries and feel where they can connect with others around us in our shared ritual space. And I'm going to ask you, if you can, have your hands out like this, and you're just going to breathe in to take in just a little bit of that mixed energy from inside of this bubble of yours, and you'll breathe it out to the right and accept from the left. So breathe in that energy from your bubble and to the right. As if we're all standing in a circle together. Do it again. And breathe out. Take a couple of normal breaths to just sit with that, to try to feel some of that change that comes through the sharing, as if we're all standing in a circle in physical space together. One more time. Breathe in and send that energy to the bubble on your right. Good. And one more thing, we're almost there. Through this entire sphere, this bubble that you've created, you can also see your own connection to the earth below you. You can just envision at the very bottom of that bubble sort of a little tendril, a little root that can grow down and connect to those beautiful earth energies below you. Pardon me. Take a moment to do that. So just let the bottom of this bubble, this sphere, let a little bit of that energy move down and connect to the earth below you. And with a couple of normal breaths, just try and get a sense of what that feels like for you. Is it thin? Is it weak? Is it very wispy? Is it thick and strong? Is it somewhere in between? What does this connection feel like between you and the planet? Just take a couple of breaths and feel that. A little bit of back and forth, yeah? And then with one good breath, we're only doing one this time, I'm going to ask you to breathe in some more of that energy that we've collected inside of this bubble, and then just breathe it down. Not to give to the earth, but to strengthen that connection, that tendril that we sent down, that little root. We want to strengthen that and fortify it. The earth doesn't need our individual energy. It doesn't need our healing energy itself. What it needs is for us, what the earth needs is for us to recognize our connection to it and to commit to strengthening that. So just think down, think through that root, that tendril. Just set your intention for strengthening it. That doesn't necessarily mean that it gets thicker or anything like that. Maybe it just gets denser. Maybe it just gets tougher, right? Whatever that is for you, set that intent to strengthen it and breathe in that energy around you. And just with one good exhalation, breathe it down. Strengthening that connection. Good. Now take a couple of breaths. When you're ready, maybe shake out your body a little bit. And I believe it's time for some thinking.
Warrior, we thank you for your presence here tonight. And we ask if there are any final messages before you leave this space of ours. We have met in honor of the warrior and filled our offering cup with our love. Drink, warrior, and never know thirst. We honor you always in the circle of our lives. Tus Kayate.
Tus Kayate. The spirits have healed with us, worked magic with us, and danced with us. We'll take a moment now to seek out their voices. Spirits here with us. Share with us your voice. Give us your messages and let us know what you ask of us. We've drawn the Minotaur, the healer, and sulfur. The spirits speak to us of times that are difficult and challenging. I think everyone here tonight, everyone who hears this message, has met the Minotaur in their own way, has come face to face with their challenges and shadows as time goes on and we move through very difficult periods. But the work that we've done tonight is the work of healing, of understanding that our strength and the strength that the warrior lends to us lets us bring ourselves back to this place, to this community, to center, to find ourselves, and to find the road forward. And finally, on that road forward, the spirits speak to us of activism, of changing, of continuing to come together with our strength, with our spirits, and with our community to make changes in our own lives, in the lives of each other, and in the world itself. And now, hearing those voices of spirits, being present for their love and energy, we will now thank our divinities and spirits for their presence with us in this rite.
And we honor the beings who have guided us in our rite tonight. George is holding our offering cup at the main altar. And we ask you to focus on that altar and that cup. Breathe out your blessings and well wishes for these kindred of our hearts. Breathe out your thanks and your love into that offering cup as I speak. We give thanks to the spirits, beings, and divinities that have walked with us this night. Thank you, spirits, for your presence and your protection, for guiding our magic and our healing, for holding open the way. We pledge to honor your gifts and to use them wisely. We give you thanks and honor this evening.
To the Phoenix, we give offering. To the queer divine of many names, youth, explorer, lover, healer, warrior, liberator, mystic, and elder, we give offering. To the Minotaur, we give offering. To the dragon, we give offering. To the queer ancestors, we give offering. To Terra and Soul, we give offering. To the Genius Loci, we give offering. To all you spirits who walk with us, may you never thirst. Tuskayate, Netzah, Shaliach.
You're unmuted.
Netzah Shaliach, which in our tradition means we meant what we said. It's sort of our so mote it be, right? Thank you, Theo, John, and Indy. We are now going to thank the elements, going in reverse order. So starting with air and ending with fire.
I thank air for its presence tonight, for the clarity it brings in the winds of change. I also thank the directions and the compass for their blessings. We honor you always in the circle of our lives, Tuskayate.
To the element of earth, we give thanks. We thank you for the foundation and the growth that we have found here tonight, for the resilience and strength to make the changes we want to see in the world. We honor you always in the circle of our lives. Tuskayate.
We thank water in this space. Thank you, water, for the tides and the promise of change, of present, of emotion, and of memory. We honor you always in the circle of our lives. Tuskayate.
We thank fire, the flames of transformation, the power that moves us to create change, to fight what is evil. We thank it for its vitality, its protection, its warmth. Fire, we honor you always in the circle of our lives. Tuskayate.
Thank you, everyone. And Tuskayate to the elements. Tuskayate meaning our hearts are open to you. And now, as we have honored the elements, we honor that which has been changed and invite it back into ourselves. So those things from beginning of ritual that we let out into the space in hopes that they would be transformed by our work, time to bring them back. Just take one good deep breath to allow those things to settle back in, hopefully with some renewed focus or some new way of looking at them. Yeah. So just take a good deep breath in. And may this transformed energy be a tool with which we work our will. Creasy?
Focus again on the group as a whole, that full, shining circle of connected lights. Feel how our community has been empowered by our work tonight. Feel how you have been changed personally. Send some of that transformed energy into our circle with a breath.
Just
Now send it out to the community that could not be here with us this evening. And one more time, breathe in that energy and send it out to the wider world and those who are in need, desperate help and connection. This is the power of the Phoenix to transform and regenerate. Let us take the gift of this connection with us into our daily lives. Manifest your will through love. And now we go forth into the world, renewed by the bonds of this fellowship, out of the flames into the light.
going back to you.
Okay. And thank you, Creasy, for ending our ritual so beautifully. And thank you to everyone who could attend and who has been watching, who may have been commenting in the YouTube stream. Thank you for doing that. I haven't been able to be there or see it, but I know you're there and I appreciate it and I feel that connection. Thank you to our celebrants, from here on the West Coast over to Chicago, and some of the members of the Chicago Temple that have been able to join us for sort of the twisted blessing of all of this quarantining and social distancing. We get to do ritual together again. So thank you to our Chicago membership for joining us. Thank you to everyone in our Seattle Temple for helping us to put this on. Thank you to Frank, again, as always, who is right next to that camera. You can't see him, but I can. And just, like, maniacally handling all of this tech stuff that I can't even imagine. So thank you, Frank. In just a minute, we're actually going to share a Google Meet link. If we haven't, is it in the...
It's already in there.
It's already in there, in the description, I imagine?
It's currently in the live chat notes.
Okay, lovely. So,
which we will leave the stream open for another 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, so the stream's going to be remaining open. It's going to revert back to that prayer from before the ritual, but it'll be there so that the live chat stays open and you can access that link. It's the same meeting link that we've been using to perform this ritual. And if you want to chat, if you want to spend a little bit of social time with us, come on in, join us. You don't even need to talk if you want to. You can just lounge. That's fine. So we will be turning that around very shortly. And again, there's before I say anything like that, there's no need to do that. Of course, that's ritual's over. If you want to hang out, if you have questions for us or anything like that, or if you just want to chat, that's where you're going to find us to be able to do that. Thank you again. On behalf of the Seattle Temple, the Chicago Temple, the whole fellowship, Tuskayate. Our hearts are open to you. Thank you for joining us.